Not so long ago, I saw a post on Reddit from a developer with such message. I've been programming for 11 years and last month I caught myself unable to debug an issue without API help. And this is an extremely important question. Ask yourself, can you still code or find a bug if you don't have AI with you? As you can understand from the code, the developer with 11 years of experience for sure knows how to write code and debug it, and he has lots of experience. But I see again and again that developers are relying on AI too much, and they stop completely to write code on their own or debug bugs on their own, so they are fully relying on AI, and when they are fixing bug, they simply try to prompt AI again and again until the bug is fixed. And it doesn't even matter if they spend more time by doing that than by debugging it yourself. Why does it happen? It is obviously simply use it or lose it. If you are not using your brain to debug your code or to write code by yourself, you are losing the skills. What do experienced developers think about a bug even without looking at the code? Just after he got a bug, he is thinking, maybe the problem is the change detection is running too often. Or maybe there is a race condition between two observables. Or maybe we forgot to unsubscribe from subscription on destroy. Or maybe our async pipe is creating too many subscriptions. This is your experience which is talking to you. You don't really need to debug the bug because you already can think about several variants why the bug is happening. Of course, you don't know 100% what caused it, but you already have some hypotheses. And for developer, it is extremely important to make sure that he can do such hypotheses. This list doesn't come from the AI like Claude or ChatGPT. It is coming from your experience. And this is exactly what we're doing in my middle to senior frontend bootcamp, where I am teaching you to solve tasks on your own, plan architecture accordingly, and be fully responsible for the code that you are writing. So let's look on our code with the bug. As you can see here, we have an app board and we're subscribing to live updates and we never unsubscribe from it. And if you have just some experience with Angular, you for sure noticed the problem. We didn't write unsubscribe, this is why this subscription is there forever and will be recreated every single time when this component is remounted. So realistically, if you ever fixed such bug at least once, you will understand the problem in seconds. This is why obviously if you have experience, you will write a bulletproof component from the start. When you are subscribing to stuff, you will use take until, for example, to destroy your subscription with the subject, or with latest Angular we will use take until destroyed. This is why it is really important to guide AI, not simply throw your whole code or your whole project to AI and ask what is going wrong, but just give it bits and pieces where the problem might be. You still need to know how to debug on your own, because if you ever want to change a job, you need to pass an interview and you know what? They will ask you to write code there without AI at all. And sometimes it simply takes more time to debug with the AI. You are throwing this piece of code from Angular to it and saying that your inputs are losing values. And AI can produce random answers to you which are not exactly related to your problem. But if you are an experienced Angular developer, you will see the problem immediately. We're not using track-by for our ng for loop, which essentially means Angular is destroying and recreating these components every single change detection cycle. So sometimes it is much faster to debug code on your own than to use AI for that. The next important point is the architectural decisions. Really often I see that developers simply throw some architectural questions to AI and then AI tries to produce the best architecture that it can. But best doesn't really mean fitting your needs or your business. So instead of asking Claude, for example, should I use a service with behavior subject or NGRX for my shopping cart state, it is better to think first and validate. Like for example, I think that it is better to use behavior subject because this cart is shared between three components, we don't have a complex state or side effects, and NGRX feels like we need to write a lot of boilerplate. So here we're not just getting a solution from AI, we're validating our own thoughts, but still we're responsible for our architecture. It is not that we're doing whatever AI tells us, but we're using it simply like a reasoning tool. And here I can recommend you a 5-minute rule. Before you start throwing an error in AI, spend at least 5 minutes on debugging this error on your own. It will help you to understand the error better, you might fix it faster than AI, and it will keep your brain sharp. For example, here, if we are getting an error no provider for HTTP client, we can simply ask ourselves from where HTTP client is coming from. Okay, we're talking about user service and it is injecting HTTP client. Is HTTP client module imported? Is it the lazy loading module? Do we need to provide HTTP client? And when we're looking on the code, we can easily spot the issue. You typically don't need AI for such fixes. So don't do like this. Don't just dump a problem in AI. Don't write, my Angular service is not working with generics, here my code, just fix it. Instead, you need to write more text to it to validate things and get some reasoning. Like for example, my generic service is failing because TypeScript can't infer the type that I'm calling. And here is my current implementation. And I think the issue is in Angular dependency injection system that can't handle generic service directly. Is that right, or do I need some cleaner way? The more information you are providing to AI, the better answer you will get. And if you are serious about becoming a senior engineer and want to make sure that you are staying competitive on the market, I highly recommend for you my middle to senior front-end bootcamp, where I am teaching you exactly everything that senior developer should know. And you can find the link to it under the video.